we're going to give a talk. We actually ran a discussion in the room and captured what the discussion was all about. And we said, and by the way, that resource is now available up online. Why couldn't you do this for your own organisation? All right, let's talk about customer acquisition. There's a little bit of, this is sort of the end of that marketing sort of area. And we go into law, finance and SEOing, or online, finish off mostly with online sort of work. So customer acquisition is about bringing in new customers. How do we go about bringing in new customers? First thing you do is to plug this in. So it's the process of bringing new customers to a particular brand, product, or service. And it's about doing the least amount of work, spending the least amount of money to get customers into the fold. This is not about, the trouble with customer acquisition is it can be very expensive. Once you start to push that promotion dollar to get customers, you've got a problem because a lot of money goes out. And as they say, there's half of all advertising money is wasted. And the trouble is no one knows which half it is. But they know that half of it is wasted. They just haven't figured out which is the half that is. It's an expensive process. And so we need to think about customer acquisition as a way of getting our first cohort of customers particularly. How can we do it in the cheapest and least work way? So that's what we're going to have a look at tonight. Because we need to convince our customers to switch. Like I say, most of your customers are not without at the moment. And I think this is an important point to mention. Even though you say, oh, but Peter, we're being very innovative. Yeah, I know, but they're still actually being reasonably looked after. They've got a few problems, but they're doing okay. And here you are coming along and you open and you wonder why no one comes to you. Because you've got to convince these people to switch from their current processes. And the trouble is they build up terrible habits. Those customers that built up the terrible habits of going to coffee shops that serve worse coffee than me, but they had a habit of going there. And they knew the people and they knew the route and it was just comfortable for them. And somehow you have to break that. And customer acquisition is about doing that. It's about trying to convince them to switch. And we call it acquisition cost because it's going to cost you anyway. If you do passive, you might build it word of mouth, but I don't know whether unless you've got deep pockets, you're going to be breaking even in 2 years. And how are you going to fund that loss for 2 years before you get your clientele? We need to get to break even as quickly as possible. There is a, I call it being put in the paddock with a bull. The bull's over on that corner, you're about the middle, and there's a gate in that corner. You have to get to that gate before that bull mauls you. And the bull that's coming at you is the running out of money. You've opened your business, you're going to be losing money for quite a while, and until you can stop that bleeding, and till you can get to that point of break even and then starting to get sustainability, that bull is coming for you. And you've got to get it to that gate before that bull mauls you. And that, like I say, the bull is the amount of money that you've got to survive while your business is before your business breaks even. And so we need to, rather than do it the slow burn, we need to actually make a cost. We need to actually go out and spend energy or resources in trying to get customers to give us a code. 10%, where, Phil brought this point to me recently. He said, it's not it's quite reasonable to be spending about 10% of a startup's income revenue on advertising. That's not an unreasonable amount. A mature business probably spends about 2 to 3% per year on advertising and marketing of their turnover. A new business in the early days is probably looking more about 10%. Now, if you haven't got 10% of your capital because your business isn't that big at the moment, you should be spending 10% of your awake time building your business, So if you can't invest capital, you can't invest dollars, you should be investing time. And if you looked at 10%, 10% of, I don't know how many hours we're awake every day, but that's how many hours we should be investing online. And so when you say, oh, Pete, you spend a lot of time online, I'm just thinking, well, that's how I've got to do it to build my business. It's either that or dig deep into your pockets and throw it at the advertising and see if you could build your customers that way. Either way, it's going to cost your time, promotional costs. You've got to educate. This is why I'm worried about people that come with a highly new, innovative concept. You've got to educate your market about what you're doing. They look at it, they don't understand that it's better. You actually have to give them a training course on why this is better. Costs money, hey, selling stuff. Costs money to educate the person, to explain how much better it is. And so we might even be giving away free and giving away trials. Some of you talked about this, giving discounted trials or giving away things for free. This costs money. You know, it's not money out of your pocket, but it's money out of your, a slice out of your time, or it's a slice out of the revenue. Instead of getting the full revenue, you get a discounted amount. Either way, this is what I'm saying, either way, it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you resources to acquire your customers. Tell me how you're going to do that. Tell me how you're going to get your first cohort of customers, and that's what customer acquisition is all about. There's two options we can take, and they call it outbound marketing or inbound marketing. Outbound marketing is, sorry about this, it's not quite on the screen. Does this work, Phil? Magic. Outbound marketing is what we know as traditional marketing. Newspapers, magazines, radio, television. These are your traditional marketing means, and it's called outbound marketing. But there's new marketing that has arisen through the result of the internet, and it's called inbound marketing. And inbound marketing is the marketing where you do things that attract people. You do things that make people a follower of you. You do things that people want to listen to what you've got to say. They want to follow your blog. They want to follow you on Twitter because you're giving them value. And so you want to do that way. Now, so inbound marketing is what they call permission advertising or petition marketing, because the person at any time can click unfollow. You're not shouting at them. You're saying, here's stuff. And the reason why you're getting it in your feed, I'll tell you why, because you followed me. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you as you walk past South Bank here. You at some point decide to follow me. So when you get stuff in your feed from me, it's your fault, not me. It's your permission that you've given. You've given me permission to put stuff in your feed, and I'm going to make sure I do, which is why our Facebook professional Facebook is just, I'm actually using it for outbound marketing. I don't want to engage with anyone in my professional Facebook. It's just, you've decided to friend me, that's your fault. Here's some stuff I want you to know, you know. Whereas in my private Facebook, I obviously engage. So there's a couple of, just looking at those two strategies of outbound and inbound marketing. And both of these strategies can be used to acquire customers. And obviously I'm going to be pushing for most of us will be following the inbound marketing strategy. Inbound is about investing your time, creating worthwhile and valued resources, and customers are attracted to the business to follow these valued resources, which is what I'm saying about the Quora thing that I do, what I'm saying about what you do on Instagram or what you do on Facebook or what you do on your blog. What you're trying to do is create value. You know, you create valuable resources. Why? So people follow you. Why? Because then they've given you permission to then down the track be telling them about your products that you want to sell them. And they've given you that permission. You haven't yelled at them walking past. They already know you. There's a warm lead, and that's what we're using. So that's inbound marketing. Outbound marketing is constantly paying money for advertising and promotions. The sad thing is customers buy only for the life of the promotion. You know, quite often we're going to run a promotion, we're going to do the discount, we're going to get people in, promotion over, no more 2-for-1 slushies, lose most of our customers. You know, while it generates revenue while the specials and that are on, you don't always keep, you know, when we obviously did an opening at Ambrosia, the thing we did there, we've reversed it. We said if you buy a drink, you can get the food for free, which completely blew people away, didn't it? How often do you go to a cafe, buy a drink and get food for free? But obviously we ran it for a very tight time, and obviously the shop was jam-packed for the week that we ran it. And then at the end of the week, we only kept 10 or 20% of those customers actually stayed on. But we at least got the business. We gate crashed people's conversations. Everyone's talking about, it's amazing, buy a can of Coke and I got a chicken salad, you know. But at least that person got to try our product, and maybe they said actually it was quite good. 2 weeks later, they could become a customer. That's the hope anyway. So that's outbound marketing. So here's just the look at the different strategies. When you're communicating, in outbound, you're telling. You're saying here, you know, you're getting on the megaphone. Whereas the communication with inbound is interactive. It's responding to comments. There's an engagement that takes place. When we're talking about customers, in outbound, we go seeking them. We go seeking these customers. We go chasing them down the street. What we do with inbound is we turn something on, we turn the light on and wait for the moths to be attracted. It's a completely different way in which the customers come to us. They come to us, not us going to them. We, of course, put plenty of bait out. We put plenty of cheese out. We put plenty of light out to attract them, but they are attracted to us. We're not actually going seeking and sort of targeting that. I'm not saying no to outbound marketing. I'm just saying that this is the difference between the two. There's no real value add. You know, I don't. You know, I'm watching this movie. I'm really into it. And then they interrupt with this. Someone breaks in and tells me about Homo or something. I'm getting nil value out of that, apart from the chance to go to the toilet or get a cup of coffee. But there's no real value being given to me at that point. Whereas when we're doing inbound marketing, we're giving actually value away. People say to me all the time, why do you give your content away for free? I say, I'm not. I'm building a client base. I'm building warm leads. I'm building something in my sales funnel that will eventually create perpetual ongoing business. The outbound marketing seeks to sell. You know, at the end of that advertising on the television, they're looking for a sale. What we're looking for with inbound marketing is more build a relationship. We are trying to get our customers, you know, liking us. We are like wanting to get our customers to follow us. So we're looking to build a relationship. And when we're talking about the costs, outbound is about money. So if you've got the money to do it, do outbound marketing. It is effective. It does do the job. If you haven't got money, you're a startup, you're looking for ways in which to generate marketing, think about inbound. Inbound, but you have to invest your time. Don't go thinking you're going to do 10 minutes a day on the internet and be doing inbound marketing. You know, the time is 10% of your awake time. So can I hazard a guess? So 7 till 12, 15 hours, 10, 1.5 hours a day. You've got to be on the internet building inbound marketing. That's not unreasonable. Most of you spend an hour and a half in this class on inbound marketing, so I don't know why. All right, so website's our go. This is where we need to go. We need to be building a website, and we've still got in our targets, and we'll definitely get it done before the end of the course, or at the end of the course, we're going to do a WordPress website. So why we're going to do that? Because while Weebly I need you to do for my assessment, WordPress is what I need you to work on for as a business website. Some people are happy with photographers I know have done the course. They said, Pete, I'm just staying with Weebly. And some of you will find Weebly okay. It will do you for a certain level as a small business. But if you want to get into a platform that seems to be the winner in terms of commercial website development, it's WordPress. So that WordPress has got to do all of these things. And I'll go through them in detail in a minute, and it's these. In terms of content marketing, where do we go for content marketing? I've already said, start building content on Quora, start building content for your YouTube, start building content on your blog, running a blog inside your website where you're just talking about stuff. You're talking about, you're engaging with your market, you're talking about relevant events. Search engine optimization, you need to get into Google, you need to understand the concepts of search engine optimization. There's a whole science to that. I'm trying to get someone to come and talk to you about that, but there's a whole science in there. There's email marketing strategies, and these guys seem to be the champs at it. We haven't done a lot in this area, but using your email to market, you know, I mean, it's spam, isn't it, mostly for us? But I think there's clever ways of doing it, and we need to think that one through. Copywriting, so if you're needing copyright, a lot of these domains are very, very good. Copyscape, because you want to check whether content that you're writing is not plagiarized. Remember, Google doesn't like copied material. If Google catches you doing a lot of copied material, what happens is that it says you're not a valued writer. We're going to downgrade your content, your website. It's looking for Google's life or business model is built on customer satisfaction for its clients, and it doesn't want to have copy and paste as the major thing that's happening on the website. It wants new content. It wants new authoritative and accurate content. Conversion rate optimization, this is another thing. We haven't really got into that, but there's people out there that, having got 10,000 hits a day on your website, how do you convert them to a sale? You know, and there's a whole science around that as well. How do you convert interest or awareness into actually making a sale? Maybe come back next course and we'll figure that one out. But there are people out there that can do that. Social media, like I say, I don't do content on Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or Scoop.it. These aren't sites to be building content. These are sites to be sharing content. Content that you found, you share it with the world through Facebook, with Twitter. You share it through the world with Pinterest. Pinterest is mostly finding information and sharing it. So these are great social marketing, and you need to be engaged in social marketing. In terms of writing content, I still think up the top there is where you need to go. And then in terms of analytics, you need to be able to drill down, and we'll show you when we get to that part of the course. You can drill down to, don't want to trip him. You can drill down to cities and you know, where you're getting your people from cities. When you see the analytics that Google has on your people that visit your website, it's astounding, you know. And you can see the type of users, the software that they're using, what browser they're using. You know, when we show you that on our website, you'll just be astounded at how much analytics you can get about your customer. Those of you that are going to sell from a coffee shop, your only data is number of customers per hour, whether they're male or female. But what you get from online is incredible detail, and that allows you then to target your audience, target your marketing and your advertising to the specific fish that you want to catch in that audience. So remember the sales funnel. I'll keep coming back to this all the time because you've got to explain why you're doing something. Pete, what are you doing? Or maybe I'm building awareness, those of you that are now at the top. So getting known, you need to get known. You can do it organically or paid. Organically means that by writing content on Quora, people follow you, that's organic. The other one is to actually go on Facebook, which we've done, and actually targeted a particular city and a particular, I think we got particular names, and we targeted them and said, anyone that has this profile, we want to have this ad appear on their profile. And it was costing us not a lot, $2 a day or something, I think it was. And we picked up about 4,500 followers out of that. And you know, it was probably a pretty effective thing. And now we're actually continuing to market, and hopefully we'll turn that into a business down the track. We need to be able to excite people. We need to get people interested and engaged, and so social media is the way to do that. We need to get people to check us out. How are you going to get people to check you out? So maybe at the end of your blog, you're going to put a link that takes them to your website. Maybe in your bio, you make sure there's a link. Maybe on your LinkedIn page, there's a link. Maybe on your Google Plus page, there's a link. Maybe on Twitter, there's a link back to, you know, how are you setting up the network so that when people do come down that, they actually get an opportunity to check you out? At the moment, how can people check you guys out? Where's the network? Where's the theme park that you've built that makes people go through, you know, you're trying to get them to go through that shop at the end. You know, the theme parks? You go and have a wonderful time, and where do you end up? You can only exit the theme park through the shop. You too, you've got to build this thing that, oh, go and have fun, jump on here, read this article, watch this YouTube, all that sort of stuff. But when you leave through my website. Because at the end of every sort of fun thing you do, there's a link back to my website, which hopefully then I can get that conversion and get a sale. We need to get some exchange. An exchange is we need to get some sort of comment happening. We need to get some sort of an email address exchange. Would you like to follow this blog? Give us your email address. Try this download for free. Here's a free download. Help yourself to it, but give us your email address before you do. Subscribe to your website so that every time you publish something, they get an email notification. Or some sort of newsletter. Subscribe to our newsletter, and once a month you publish a newsletter. We need to be getting those customers down to some sort of exchange, because after exchange, we do get the dollars. And the dollars come from basically an introductory product. And we're going to do this as a worksheet tonight. This is not your Rolls Royce. This is your no barriers product. This is a paid subscription or membership, if you like. It's a low commitment, something that's not going to cost them a lot of money to say yes to. You know, it's a low commitment product. It's well known. There's no barriers. There's value. It's value packed. You know, it's $50 worth of value for $5. A low cost kit, if you like, or with a clear path to an upsell. So you know that every person that has bought that, there's going to be an upsell that you can take them to. So that's our model. We're always working to this model. And inbound marketing works to this model. It starts up there and comes out. Outbound marketing obviously is the same as well. So let's talk about customer lifetime value, and then we'll put you to work on this exercise I want you to do. When you're thinking about, okay, Pete, well, how much money should we be spending in either time or dollars, and this one's about dollars, how much should we be spending to acquire our customers? Well, before you can make that decision, you need to know what your lifetime customer lifetime value is. You need to know when you acquire a customer, how much are they going to benefit you? What's the return on investment from that customer? So let's have a look at it. If, say, haircuts, now this is not females, this is males, balding head males that only pay $15 for a cut and a snip, $15. And the person's in the area for 2 years. You know, they're an office worker in the area, and most office workers are only in the area for a couple of years. The variable costs, the cost of the wear and tear, the electricity, the wages of the person is about $10. So the contribution to overheads is about $5. So every time customer makes a sale, okay, we've got to expend some money on the variable cost, but we end up with $5 as a contribution to overheads, which I'll talk about gross profit later, but it's a 33% gross profit. So the lifetime value of that customer is, if they're there for 2 years, there's 12 months in a year, they get a haircut every 12 months, and we make $5 out of them. That customer is worth to us $120,000. Knew that again. $120 for the entire time that they're in that area. So every customer in that area is worth that. So the question you can ask is, how much could you afford to spend to acquire this customer? Do you think a free haircut, free first haircut, is out of the question? It's not really, is it? A free first haircut is going to do you $10. You're not going to get the $5. It's going to cost you the variable costs of giving that haircut. You're going to invest $10, but if you win that customer, you're going to get $120 from them. So that's the maths of what this is about. To actually have a go at seeing what each customer could possibly get for you. You know, my Jim in PT, you know, we've been together now about 6 years, and I've been paying him every week for 6 years. And he gave me an customer. He got me to come in for a free trial of fitness, and we had a chat, and we had a couple of sessions, and now I've signed up for 6 years. So, okay, it cost him a bit of time and a bit of effort and a bit of gym hire and all that sort of stuff, but look what he's got back. 6 years of every week, and then now he has my wife going every Saturday as well. So how good is that? In terms of customer lifetime value, he's done pretty well. He's just got to hope I live long enough to give him a good return. So this is what customer lifetime value, and it's this saying that I often say, make the customer, not just the sale. And we can be so caught up in sales that we forget to make a customer. And that's what this is all about. This is about acquiring a customer, not just making a sale. And making a sale that then goes out the door and you never know where your next sale's coming from is not smart business development. What you're trying to do is win the customer, so like my personal trainer did, won me as a customer and get them to give you their whole lifetime value. So we're going to do that as an exercise tonight. I'll get you to look at various businesses and see how you go with it. I think that's it. So we've got a customer activity which you're going to be doing both of those things. You're going to be doing the pyramid. You're going to explain to me for a particular business how you're going to do those various levels. And then we're going to try and work out the customer lifetime value for each of our businesses here. So I'll get you to, you'll all pick the handyman, but try and spread it around a bit. Try and take, what was that?
We didn't last time.
Oh, okay. Try and spread it around a bit and we'll see how that goes, all right? So let's have a